So let's talk about whenever you started this 4 years ago, you're just getting started, you're deciding, I'm going to get into mobile home park investing. Talk to me a little bit about the mindset and what was going on that helped you make that decision.
Um, I saw so many testimonies of people on YouTube. I saw that. And before we started renting, we seller finance four of our properties out. And seller financing, you set up a price, your interest rate, and you tell them how long you're going to pay. But if it's like only for 7 years, after the 7 years is over, they don't owe you anymore. And
That's
one
right.
day we went into the park, and our park manager was like, "Kelly, you guys really need to rent these homes out. You have so many." And I'm thinking she don't know what she's talking about. She's just a park manager. She don't know what she's talking about. And one day we went to pay the lot rent, and the park manager said, "Hey, Kelly, I want you to meet this guy." Well, he was a millionaire. And he was like, "You guys are doing this wrong." Now, my wheels are spinning. I'm like, this guy's a millionaire. And he pretty much told us, when you rent your mobile homes out, sure, you might have a phone call from time to time, but this money is coming in for a lifetime, especially if the mobile home 2017, 2018, that, you got, depending upon when you buy a mobile home, you have 55 to 60 years to collect rent. Why would I want to sell a finance just for 7 years? That don't make any sense.
That's a lot shorter
Yeah.
than 50, 60 years.
Yeah.
7 years
Yeah.
is not very long.
Right. Exactly.
All right, folks, welcome to the High Performers Podcast. Today we have Kelly Hardin with us, and she is Deals, Heels, and Wheels. She is the boss, and I'm really excited to have her on here. So welcome, Kelly Hardin, and so glad to have you here on the show.
Thank you so much. I appreciate it. I'm just so blessed to be here. I was so honored that you asked me to get on here, so I'm happy to be here with you.
Well, you are already a star in what you do, and you've got the mobile home behind you. So one of the first questions I like to ask is I say, what do you tell people when they ask you, what do you do for a living?
I'm a mobile home investor. Me and my brother. My brother's name is Joel Harden. We're mobile home investors. So that's what we do. I still work. I'm a registered nurse, and my brother is a barber. So we still work. But yes, I am a mobile home. We're mobile home investors.
So tell us about that. How did you get started?
Well, about 4 years ago, we paid off two of our property. We also own two single family homes. We own 18 mobile homes and two single family homes. We paid those off, the two single family homes, and we was like, man, we're running out of capital. We had to find a cheaper way on how to still be in the real estate game, but still make money. And that's when we found out about mobile home investing.
Very good.
Mhm.
So tell us about your very first one. So you found out about it
Mhm.
and you started to think about it. How'd you do it? Did you put together some money or tell us about the whole deal?
Well, to tell you the truth, we buy our mobile homes using credit cards and business lines of credit. And I tell everybody, if you got bad credit, it's going to be hard to be in the real estate game. It's going to be very hard. And so we took like several courses. We took like four or five mobile home investing courses. And then after that, we bought our first mobile home in 2019. And we wind up seller financing that mobile home out. We no longer seller finance our mobile homes out. We rent our mobile homes out because mobile homes have a life expectancy of anywhere between 55 to 60 years. So we want this money coming in forever. Our average mobile home is roughly about 2017, 2018 in the year it was built. So we
Hmm.
don't we don't want to sell a finance out something like that.
Yeah, for sure. So how many do you have now?
I have 18. We have 18 mobile homes and two single family homes, no banks whatsoever. So we own
Wow.
we own all of our mobile homes and all of our single
That
family homes. Yeah.
that's great.
Mhm.
And now you also teach people how to do this, correct?
Yes, I do teach. My course is called Heels, Deals, and Wheels Mobile Home Investing Course. It's available on Vimeo. And you get, it's on demand. You have access to me after you watch the first 50 videos because, I don't want people to just call me every video, Watch the first 50 videos, and then after that, you have access to me. You have my personal cell phone number.
Very good. And so does that teach you, does that help you teach the people how to go find deals? And then do you work with them after? Or is it just education where they're completely on their own?
No, no way, no way. I don't believe in people spending their hard earned money on these courses and then you can't reach the instructor or anything like that. So no, you will have access to me. Hmm.
Wonderful.
Hmm.
That's really great.
Thanks.
So you're still nursing. Do you ever plan to transition out of that and be full-time mobile
Well,
home investing?
well, actually, yeah, I do plan on doing that, but actually, I'm already retired. I'm retired Army. I did 20 years in the military, and I retired young. And then after that, I'm like, okay, I might as well keep on working, and that's what I'm doing right now. But I do plan on, leaving nursing altogether eventually.
Well, thank you for your service in the Army. We appreciate that.
Thank you.
Yeah. So you're located in?
I'm located in two places. I actually live in Texas, but I travel to work in California because they pay nurses a whole lot more out here in California than they do in Texas. So I'm in two places.
Cool. Tell us about how the mobile home game, how does it work? Where do you buy them? And where's a good place to buy them? And what's a good one and a bad one?
Okay. We normally buy our mobile homes in the park. But when you buy a mobile home in the park, you have to worry about the lot rent. But then the flip side of that, if something happens in the park, a tree falls down, something happens with the roads or anything like that, that's not your concern. Okay, so you're just collecting the rent from the tenant. Okay, but you have to pay the park the lot rent. So that's the downsides of investing inside of a park. Now you invest outside of a park. Those mobile homes are going to be a little more expensive because it's going to be on land and the taxes are going to be higher, especially if the mobile home is fixated to the land. Those people who fixate their mobile homes to the land, they're going to be taxed the same as a person who has a single family home in that neighborhood. So you
Wow.
have to be careful with that. So as of today, we have not invested on any mobile homes that are on land. We have wholesale mobile homes on land, but we don't own any mobile homes that are on land. But we do have several mobile homes. The thing I always tell people is to buy the mobile home in the park first, get your feet wet, then buy you some land, and then after your lease is over with the park, then you move the mobile home over to the land. That would be my suggestion to anybody who's starting off and new in the business. And as far as a good mobile home or a bad mobile home, there are like two types of mobile homes. There's a pre-HUD mobile home. That's a mobile home that was built before 1976. And there's a HUD mobile home. That's a mobile home built after 1976. We prefer HUD mobile homes because they're built better.
Mm.
The government came out with all these standards. The mobile home has to have, the wiring and all this kind of stuff and the wind zone and all that kind of stuff. So we preferred to buy mobile homes that were built after 1976. And like I told you before, a great majority of our mobile homes are 2018, 2019. Now, the mobile home behind me is actually our mobile home. It was built in 1983. That is still a HUD mobile home. It's not pre-HUD. It's a 3 bedroom, 2 bath, and we actually got this mobile home for $10,000. The park manager thought this was a 2 bedroom, 1 bath. That's one reason why she sold it so cheap. She was asking like 22,000 for it, and we made her an offer of $10,000, and she took it. So that's being rented out, and I believe those tenants are paying us in our pockets like $810 a month in our pocket after the lot rent is paid. So
That is good.
yeah, yeah,
And you spent 10,000 on it
ten
for 800 a
thousand.
month.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
That is really good. So
right.
that's the next thing I was going to get into. Is that a
Mhm.
common amount to be buying one? What are some good numbers, like some averages of what you're buying these mobile homes for?
We haven't spent any more than $20,000 for a mobile home, and maybe like $5,000 worth of rehab. So our most expensive mobile home maybe cost us about $25,000. So you
And those
can't.
all rent for around this?
Well, it depends on the area. Everything depends on. All of our mobile homes are in Texas. I think our cheapest mobile home that we have that's renting in our pocket is about 400, and the most expensive mobile home we're getting 1,700 in our pocket. So it depends on the area, the schools,
Wow.
bedrooms, baths, because we do have a
Hmm.
mobile home that's a 2 bedroom, one bath. And, here in the state of Texas, we believe in big families. So a
Hmm.
2 bedroom, one bath is not going to fly out here in Texas.
Not
Yeah.
going to work.
Right, right, right.
That's right.
Hmm.
So how do you go find them? You mentioned that you bought one from the manager of the park.
Hmm.
So how did the manager wind up with this, and how did you wind up connecting and finding it?
The first mobile home we found, I don't know if you know the terminology bird dog.
Hmm.
It's a gentleman who found the mobile home. He knew we had cash. He contacted us and we was like, okay, we'll go look at it. We looked at it and the park manager was like, oh, we're expecting you. I'm like, oh, okay. And we paid for the mobile home. We gave him $250 after the deal was done. And then we started building relationships with the park manager and then at the park managers, and then after a while, we don't need to drive the parks and all this kind of stuff because the park manager, if they know you have money, they don't know how we go about getting the money. They don't know we're using credit cards and business lines of credit, but they rather deal with us than deal with somebody who, has to go get a bank loan and all that kind of stuff. By the time you do all
Hmm.
that, especially with a mobile home, the mobile home's going to be gone. So they rather deal with us. They give us the deals. Hmm.
That's great. So it sounds like you have a really wide network of ways to find these. And so tell us again, how long have you been doing it?
4 years. Four
And
years.
in only 4 years, you've established this network to have your own deal flow where you're not paying for the deal flow. They're thrilled to come and give you the properties.
They are. They are. Now, don't get me wrong. If they give us a sweet deal, we do give them a little gift certificate, $100, maybe $200, but nothing to write home about. Because if you really think about it, they're putting money in our pockets. And the park managers, believe it or not, these people are only making like maybe $18 an hour. So
Hmm.
why wouldn't I help them if they're, trying to help us? So that's what we do.
Sure.
Hmm.
What parts of Texas do you focus in any specific parts?
Well, we live in Mansfield, Texas, so we try to stay within like a 90-mile radius of our home because my brother is very cheap, very frugal. He doesn't want to pay for a property manager. And so he tries to, anytime we get a phone call, something needs to be fixed, he wants the home to be within a 90-mile radius of where we live. Now, we wholesale anywhere, in California,
Hmm.
Texas, it doesn't matter. But to buy and hold, we prefer to stay in Texas. Mhm.
Yeah, Texas is awesome.
Mhm.
So the wholesaling, I think I saw on your Facebook 25 wholesales in a year. Is that right?
No, that was a lady that I interviewed. But
Okay.
yes, I have done more deals than that, and maybe not in 1 year's time. But we focus. Our strategy is buying and holding. On occasion, I will
Mhm.
wholesale. I tell anybody wholesaling is like a job. Trying to find
Yeah.
a seller and trying to hook them up with a buyer. To me, that's a job. We just like to sit at home and have that cash flow constantly coming in. Every once in a while we get a sweet deal, we'll go ahead and wholesale it, but that's not our strategy. Our strategy is to buy and hold.
Yeah, that's
Hmm.
really good. Do you look at what you were mentioning about the neighborhoods, the area?
Hmm.
Tell me some of the things that you look at when you go into a mobile home park. What are some of the things that are make it great, and what are some of the things that make it terrible that you can just see right out from the beginning?
Trash, speed bumps. If it's gated, if the park is gated, the price is going to be through the roof. Is it well lit? Are the people just hanging out? Are there cars parked all over the place? Yeah, are they taking care of the streets? The big potholes all over the place. Is there a place for the children to play? Those are the things. Would I want to live here? That'd be number one. If I would want to live there, then I would consider purchasing in that park. Yeah.
Yeah, for
Mm.
sure. And that's exactly, I'm in the RV park business, and it's the same sort of thing. We look and see the same exact thing as far as taking care of the roads. Is there a place for the children? Can we add a place for the children? Is
Right.
there a place for pets? Can we add a place for pets?
Okay.
And so you don't actually buy the park or deal with the park, but it sounds like the park has a big influence on the mobile homes that you have there.
Right. They do. They do definitely for sure.
Have you ever thought about looking into buying an entire park?
That to me sounds like a headache. That it really does. Even though with the amount of mobile homes that we own, we do have a small park if you really think about it. But if a tree falls down, a pipe bursts, we don't have to worry about that.
Mhm.
So no, I'm not really. I don't think we're interested in that at this juncture. Yeah.
So you have like this little arbitrage going on where you don't have to take care of all that. I
Right.
love it. It's kind of like a lot of people do. They call them like house hacking or short-term rental hacking, where they'll rent an apartment and then put it on Airbnb or something like that.
Right.
But you're not even, that's almost kind of shady like that. It's a little bit like, the landlord might not know or Airbnb might not know, but yours is 100%. Hey, this is legit. We're paying the rent on this place and they're paying us the amount to rent the mobile home on top of it.
Exactly, because we own our properties, with
Mhm.
that Airbnb, you're right. Sometimes these people don't even own the property,
Mm.
so you got to be very, very careful with that.
Yeah,
Very
for
careful.
sure.
Mhm.
Have you ever looked at doing short-term rentals in your mobile homes?
We are thinking about it now, because we're getting into lien, properties that have liens on it and stuff like that. And until the lien is released, we're thinking about making it into a short-term rental, until the smoke clears. And then, after they say we own it, then, we'll try to make it into a long-term rental. But, we cater to Section 8. A lot of our mobile homes are rented out by Section 8. And so when people were scrambling, when the pandemic first broke out, we really didn't have a worry in the world because the government is going to pay us, so we do have a couple of tenants that's not Section 8, but that's not what we're really looking for. We want that guaranteed money. And so we most of our homes are, over 85% are rented out by Section 8. Yeah.
Very good.
Hmm.
So let's talk about whenever you started this 4 years ago, you're just getting started, you're deciding, I'm going to get into mobile home park investing. Talk to me a little bit about the mindsets and what was going on that helped you make that decision.
Um, I saw so many testimonies of people on YouTube. I saw that. And before we started renting, we seller finance 4 of our properties out. And seller financing, you set up a price, your interest rate, and you tell them how long you're going to pay. But if it's like only for 7 years, after the 7 years is over, they don't owe you anymore. And
That's
one day
right.
we went into the park, and our park manager was like, "Kelly, you guys really need to rent these homes out. You have so many." And I'm thinking, she don't know what she's talking about. Oh, she's just the park manager. She don't know what she's talking about. And one day we went to pay the lot rent, and the park manager said, "Hey, Kelly, I want you to meet this guy." Well, he was a millionaire. And he was like, "You guys are doing this wrong." Now, my wheels are spinning. I'm like, this guy's a millionaire. And he pretty much told us, when you rent your mobile homes out, sure, you might have a phone call from time to time, but this money is coming in for a lifetime, especially if the mobile home 2017, 2018, that, you got, depending upon when you buy a mobile home, you got 55 to 60 years to collect rent. Why would I want to sell a finance just for 7 years? That don't make any sense.
That's a lot shorter
Yeah.
than 50, 60 years.
Yeah.
7 years is not very long.
Right. Exactly. Hmm.
So on the ones that you did seller finance, did you have a lot of people that were able to complete the entire term and be able to pay it off and buy it?
Our terms were 7 to 8 years, and like I said, we've only been in the business four
Oh,
years,
that's
so
right.
some of them are close to paying it off. Matter of fact, last year a lady was like, "Kelly, come over here. I want you to pay us." And that's not how we have a system where you pay online. And she was so excited. I want to pay you guys. I'm like, okay, why aren't you just going through the portal? Well, she got her income tax check, and she wound up giving us like $30,000. But you know, that's what I'm saying. In a couple of years, the house is going to be paid for, and then
Hmm.
no more payments coming from her and her husband. That's why we don't like seller financing our properties out.
Yeah. And then once you lose that cash flow is probably helping you subsidize repairs or whatever else you got going on another property. So as soon as you lose that, that's like a big chunk out of your operating capital or your savings that you can use on stuff.
Right. And if you think about it, our first 4 homes we seller finance, and all of them have between 7 to 8 years, seller finance deals on them. So in about what, another 3 years, all of them are going to be paid for. So that's 4 homes. Is going to be
Mm-hmm.
no more payments.
Off of your balance sheet
Right. At one
and off
time.
of your income
At,
sheet
at,
too.
at one time. Yeah, that's going to be a
Yeah.
lot. Yeah.
Yeah, I
No.
understand that. So let's talk about some of your future goals for this, because you're not looking to buy a park, but how many mobile homes would you like to own?
When we started, I said 6.
Now you're at 18.
Yeah, now I'm at 18, right?
That's great.
I don't have a number. I would probably say maybe 25 to 30, I would be satisfied. But I don't know what's going on in the RV business, but mobile homes are going up and up in price because single family homes are going up and up in price. But I would say 25 to 30, I would be very, very comfortable.
Now, once you get to that point, it starts to get really easier because then it just makes sense to bring in the property manager because you're running around to 30 different properties. It gets a lot harder. You do a property manager. Now you can get 60 properties, 80 properties.
Right.
One of the things I like to do is, what if we start talking about, okay, so is add a zero and double it.
Mm.
And so for you, say it's 25. What's really exciting is to think about 250, now double it. So 500 mobile homes that you own.
Mm-hmm. Right. Yeah.
What do you think of it?
It sounds good. It sounds good. But Alex, I don't know your situation, but we don't have any children. So who are we gonna leave all these, payments to? Yeah,
Sure.
we have a small dog. I already told you about her. She's gonna be very rich. I'll tell you that.
Yeah, she
So
get the best puppy chow in the whole world.
exactly, and she's fat too. So yeah, that's another story. We're not gonna get on that right now, but yeah,
That's
that's
good.
my mindset. I'm middle age, and who are we gonna leave all these payments to? 250 mobile homes. That sounds good, but we don't have, nieces and nephews or anything like that, so I don't know who we leave all these payments to. That's another thing to think about.
Yeah, I see.
Mm.
So let's go back and talk about, because I'm a veteran as well. Let's talk
Oh,
about
thank you for your
your
service. Thank you for your
oh,
service. All right.
thank you. So let's talk about what mindsets did you bring with you from the military that you apply in what you do now?
One mindset that I brought with me is that I started off enlisted in the military. Then I got out, got my degree in nursing, came back as an officer. I wouldn't want anybody to be talking to me just because crazy just because I don't have a degree. So when I'm talking to the park managers, I don't know if you know anything about the mobile home park managers. Some of them have a tendency to have a bad attitude. You know, I'm not going to let you talk to me crazy, especially if I don't want them to think that them helping me is just one sided because I'm helping them too. You know,
Hmm.
they are giving me a mobile home, not giving me. I have to pay for it. And
Yeah.
at the same on the same, the flip side of the coin, I'm helping them too. That now they don't have to worry about this mobile home. Kelly and Joe purchased this mobile home. Now they only got to worry about these other mobile homes. So I don't ever want them to think that they can talk to me any kind of way. I have only had one bad experience with a mobile home park manager, and she almost called me the B word. I'm serious. She hung up the phone on me, and I don't know if she's,
Oh, wow.
something, dementia, whatever. She called me the very next day. Hey, Kelly, like nothing ever happened. Hey, Kelly, what about this mobile home? It's like nothing ever happened. Trying to present me another deal, and I said to myself, I would never deal with her again. I said, you know what? We just bought a property yesterday, so I'm kind of tapped out. My finances are tapped out, but I don't allow people to talk to me any kind of way just because you're the mobile home park manager. It's not going to happen. It's not.
And you think that,
Yeah,
go ahead.
talk to me like you want to be talked to. That's just it. It's
Yeah.
not going to happen.
Do you think that a lot of that mentality came from the military to
It,
have that strength to stand up and say,
exactly, exactly. And I think that's why a lot of new students, they've heard about how some of the park managers can be, and they shy away from talking to the park manager. But you could get the best deals from talking to the park manager. If you drive the parks, sometimes they don't even have a sale sign in the window because the park managers are so busy. So guess
mm-hmm,
what? Go in the office and talk to them, and they might say, "Hey, Kelly, number 22 is for sale," or something like that. You won't even know because you didn't go in there and talk to them. And like I said, I've only had one bad experience. I've heard other people have bad experiences. But yes, I think that comes from the military. I'm not gonna have you talking to me crazy. Over a $20,000 home. That's not gonna happen.
uh-huh,
Yeah,
yeah, get it
yeah,
together.
yeah. Exactly, exactly.
Yeah, that's good. So a lot of that, I talk about that a lot, that that comes from that self-respect. And you're like, once you set your standards so high that you're like, well, my standard is here and you're talking to me here, and I just don't accept that.
Right.
It's not in my standards and just move on.
Exactly. And that's what you have to do to be successful in this business. If you're afraid to talk, if you're like an introvert, this is not going to work. It's not going to work for you.
Yeah, it's not. So we have something sort of similar in RV parks as far as like the surly kind of rough park manager or whatever. And those are my favorite because if they're rude and lazy and standing around smoking all day and not taking care of stuff, that means that park is going down. It has problems, and I can look around and see the problems. So as soon as I hear on the phone this grouchy, mean voice manager that I'm calling, I'm like, yeah, I got one. This is the good one.
Right. I mean, it's crazy. And like I said, a lot of those people don't even make $18 an hour. Who are you to be talking to me, crazy? I don't get it. So I'm not talking to you crazy. Don't talk to me crazy, and we'll get along well. And plus, I don't even want to deal with, buying in a park like that, because if you're talking to me crazy and I got the money, what are you going to do to my tenant who might not be able to speak English well? I have a problem with that. You're not going to treat my tenant bad, just because they need somewhere to live. So yeah.
How does that work as far as the park manager? Do they have much like input to your tenants and such?
Yeah, they do. They can start making up stuff about your tenant. They can, not get your tenant approved, by the park. Have their application sitting on the desk for weeks on end. They could do little stuff like that. If they don't have a good relationship with you, or they're not feeling you, so why would I want to start a relationship with you when it started off already rocky? Then I bring you a tenant, you have the application sitting on the desk for weeks and weeks on end. you know. So yeah, you got to be careful with that.
Yeah. I really like the way that you do it. I thought we would probably talk a lot about, I figured you'd be moving them around and you'd be like just shipping them across the country or something. But I really like the way you do it. It's so nice and simple, and you don't have to. I always tell myself, just stay stupid. Quit trying to be so smart and just do the basic, just follow through. And that's what works.
Right. We have yet to move a mobile home, not one time. So they're already in the park. Like I said, the drawback is the lot rent. Other than that, we're fine. Would we want to collect the whole, the lot rent and everything? Yeah, I would love to do that. But at the same time, we have less headache doing it the way that we do it. Yeah,
Plus, you'd have the mortgage on the land too.
exactly.
Yeah.
Right, and the
So
taxes. And the taxes.
and the taxes.
Yeah.
And the taxes.
Yeah.
I bet you the lot rent is probably cheaper than a mortgage and taxes on a piece of property.
It is. And then another thing, yeah, the taxes inside of a park, our most expensive mobile home, is like $90 a year. So if it was fixated to the land, they're going to be taxed just like a single family home in that same neighborhood.
Wow.
And
That's
another
a
thing,
lot.
and another thing people don't realize, if you have a mobile home, let's just say hypothetically it's a 3-bedroom, 2-bath within a certain zip code, and then you have a mobile home that's a 3-bedroom, 2-bath in the same zip code, you're going to get the same rent. So why would I want to pay, hundreds of thousands of dollars on a single family home when I can get a mobile home for less than $20,000 and get the same rent? So
You are smart. You got it figured out.
yeah, I'm just
You really do.
yeah. So
That's great. Well, tell the people how they can reach out and get in touch with you.
well, if you want to, you can contact me on my 800 number. You can either call or text 800-974-5580. That's the best way. If you want to do a free 30-minute Zoom, we could do that, just to see if if my course is a match for you. You could do that, but that would be the best way. But my course is hosted on Vimeo. It's Heels, Deals, and Wheels Mobile Home Investing Course. And the price is not going to go down. It's $1,499. I'm not having a Mother's Day sale, Father's Day sale, Valentine's Day, Christmas, whatever. It's not going to happen. I think my course, I provide a lot, and like I said, you have access to me, my personal cell phone number. So yeah, that's how you get in contact with me.
Yeah, that's pretty amazing. And also, I found you on Facebook. You've got a great Facebook page, and you do a podcast.
Oh yes, I do. I do. Mm-hmm.
And that's Heels, Deals, and Wheels as well, right?
Exactly. I'm on YouTube as well. So you can contact
Very
me.
good.
The best way to contact me is through the 800 number, though.
Very good. Give it one more time.
800-974-5580. And the course is hosted on Vimeo, Heels, Deals, and Wheels Mobile Home Investing Course.